My Samsung dishwasher has a 5 or SC code. It displays it here. So I have the power off. I turned the breaker off in the garage. First thing I did is I took this out. Show you that, how to do that. I did find some debris in there. So you just turn this, it all lifts out, and there's a screen that comes off. Clean that up. You can clean this out too. But down in there, I scooped all that water out with the cup. And I believe possibly that this can come out. And you can look inside the impeller. There's a pump underneath here. My first thing I'm going to do, since I've already done this and I found some things in there, and it's still air coating, is I'm going to go underneath my sink because I have a garbage disposal. The hose comes out of there into the, I'll show you, into the garbage disposal. If I can show it. This. So mine does not go to the garbage disposal. It would have went right here. And the plumber, whoever did this, is going directly into the drain. So I am going to unscrew this and put a container below it to catch the water and check to see if there's anything at that intersection. Otherwise, where that hose comes in here, follow that black one up to that gray one. The gray one goes down into the hole. I'm going to have to disconnect it from the machine and pull it out and make sure your power's off before you play with water, and check to blow through here, this whole hose, and see if air passes through easily. That'll be my third test. My fourth will be to actually get inside the dishwasher and check the impeller to see if there's a chunk of plate or something in there blocking it. Alright, that's been loosened up and moved back. It's under here. Let's see what happens. So nothing came out, so it could be clogged. Don't know. You have to lift up on it. I could be able to film that. So water did come out of there. That was just the U that was hanging down. So I'm going to pull the dishwasher out and continue on and blow through that hose. My dishwasher has screws here and here to take out. So I'm guessing that screw, because I found one inside my dishwasher, had fallen in. Mystery solved where the screw came from. Looks like a match. I found that in my basket. So now I should be able to pull it out with those two just taken out. Here are the two tabs. There's one, just lift it up and it will come out. I'm going to do it on film because I only have one hand. Yeah, you just set it down in the crease and pull it out. And you put a screw in from below to fasten them in. There's a kick plate down below that restricts me from lifting up on it and pulling it out. And there's a screw on that one. And a screw on that one. Two screws. And then this just falls down. You can set that aside. And now I should be able to lift this out. Having trouble lifting this out of there. There's actually a hex nut on top of here. I believe that will bring the foot up. Same on this side, hex nut here, draw the foot up. Then hopefully I have enough room to lift it out, just like I got. Fairly thick wood floor to get over. Alright, so those weren't hex nuts on top of there. Turns out there is a leveler right here. Get the zoom. So the foot down is this way, foot up is this way. So that must have a spindle that goes up to each foot. Back up so you can see them both. Ain't going so good. Anyways, that's that. So I'm gonna find out if that's a Torx or an Allen. So that appears to be a Torx T20. It might still be an Allen, I just can't see. Put the torque head in there pretty well. No worm. Get the drill out. So more fun with dishwashers. I took this and raised up the center without cracking the plastic and spun the feet in this direction on both sides, and I got to slide out. But I couldn't get it to slide out the whole way because I had to take this cap off, which goes in this direction to the front base. And I think this was the screw. And the power is turned off. And you will see this. Screw went there. I have to disconnect these and pull the Romex out through the base so I can pull this thing forward. One more step. And also don't forget, you may need to slide more hose for the dishwasher to get pulled out. Another thing to note, since you did mess with the feet, at least I did, you're gonna want a magnetic or at least a good level. When you put it back in there, you're gonna wanna have it level, front to back, left to right, all the good stuff so the water doesn't pool towards the front and flood your kitchen. I got my handy dandy multimeter so we can see if we can get whacked by this dishwasher. Do that off camera. But anyways, just test your leads, see if you're gonna get shocked. I turned the circuit breaker off, but never trust anybody. All right, so I got it halfway out, and I still need, I guess, that whatever Torx that was. Oh man, it's always in the last spot. T20 down in the front center. So I got it about to here, and there's obviously a foot or feet in the back of it, and I had the little foot screws thing in the center. I had to turn to the right so it was all the way down, then I could get it out. So now I got the electrical off, you can see down there. Put the cap back on, the breaker's off. Now I have access to this panel. This has to come off. You can blow through this hose all the way back, and then make sure that's not clogged. My suspicion is that under here is another black cover. Take that cover off, get to the next set of hoses from this one, and get into the pump where the impeller is and see what's plugged in there. Let's come back to that later on. So now I gotta go back to work. Now I'm gonna take the side panel off, start these two screws, and see if that's what I need to do. Won't know till I do it. Not quite what I was looking for, but it gets you in the ballpark. So you can look inside here, but I'm gonna look inside there. Pumps right there. I'm gonna look inside that thing. So I put that outside. Put a towel down. I took out as much water as I could beforehand. Now I'm gonna take this base off to get in there. So what I did here is I just took a flathead screwdriver, put it in there and pushed. This is coming out, like so. And I'm gonna probably have to take that off. So there's probably a push button and the two pieces slide apart. all I did is I pushed these two things out and popped it out. You got straight access to the pump in this thing here. So I'm gonna take a peek at that and see what's going on. Okay, two things. This here was wrapped around there, and I found a piece of glass down in there. So I'm gonna clean that out a little bit better, but that's probably my culprit if I had to guess. And the hair wasn't too great either. So what I had to do is, notice there's a rubber gasket on here. Sorry for the camera work, but this line lines up to there, and there's this little arm right here. Little arm right here. Take your screwdriver and lift up on that, and twist it this way to get past this guy. You have to do just the opposite now. Push this back in there. Get it to click over that, and I should be good to go once I put the bottom plate back on and plug that back in. So I'm gonna poke around in there for a minute and see if there's anything else, and then we'll see if this was wrong or not. But I saw this for between about 20 some odd dollars on Amazon to $157 at Home Depot for that. And that should just be an easy swap out. You just unplug this, plug it back in, and drop it in. So if this doesn't work after I put everything back together, I'll just be buying a new one of those. And I'll put the part in the description that I found. Oh yeah, and I did put a towel in here while I took that apart, just in case anything got wet. These plugs can only go in one way because they're rounded on one side. In case you didn't remember how to do it, not a big deal. Plus you could always line up the colors. And this has little arms on each side. It's not too bad getting this back in. There you go. Now just to stand it up, rewire it, slide it back in. My wires are here. I have to try to keep those underneath it while I slide it back on. I don't know how that foot thing works, but this is the screw that levels it up and down. This is what I was getting hung up in the back. I guess that's this. Not quite sure, but I think that's what I was getting hooked on. I got a lip right here. And this just goes on. There's a little slit right here. These tabs. Slide them in there. And one screw here. One screw there. Alright, she's back up vertical again. There was a little bit of water on the floor. Glad I put a towel down. Now to slide it back into place. Well, yeah. Get that wire hooked up. So wiring it back up again, if you don't have a plug, remember to put your Romex back through the hole first. Get your little secure cappy thingy going back on. And snap that down in there, in the hole. And then you can put your wire caps back on. And then you can put this back on, like that, with your screw. Show you that when I'm done. This guy just pushes down and snaps in these little thing here. You push one on either side and it'll pop back out. This is for securing your wires and they don't get cut with the middle. Now you just gotta tuck all this back in here, put the cover on. Those are all tucked back in. Make sure you didn't knock your wire lock nuts off, and everything's still secure. And you put your cover on. There you have it, secured back up. Phillips screwdriver, and now this guy and these feet just turn by hand. So I'll be lifting this up with the crowbar here and leveling it. But first of all, we're going to turn power and see if this thing works. Alright. As you can see, it's pretty level there. I don't know if you can see that. I'd rather have a little high in the front than low in the front. That's the way I'm setting it. It's not too bad. Just put the crowbar underneath there. Lift up. Turn the feet by hands. There's little paddles. Not too bad. Just twist them. Just starting to tighten this one down. That back on there. Like I said before, you might have one on your garbage disposal. Mine is not. It's right on the drain. Also, don't forget to put your little tabs back in. If you pull on this and get your hand up in there a little bit, you can get it out. Screw those up with your screw. Hopefully this thing works. Those are back up. That's hooked back up again. Let's get yourself a big old screwdriver, big end. That's a little guy. And I think I'm just gonna get a zip tie and get that hose up higher. Moment of truth. Oh, air water. I think it works. I'll come back and see if it's running. She's a runner. Don't need to buy a new drain pump, whatever you want to call it. That was a lot of work, a lot of back work. I don't think I ever want to be a plumber. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. This unit's less than 2 years old. I think it's like 1.5 years old. Broke a glass at one point. Plus that hair was going to bind that motor up eventually, unless it could cut it. But anyways, here's the two items again that were in there. But matted up hair, twisted into the impeller, big chunk of glass. You might be able to go through when you lift that grate out and the filter on the inside of the motor. The spinny thing that shoots up water, that thing just snaps off. Don't break it, be gentle. But I can see there's something that you might be able to remove on the left. And that would have been easy access to that piece of glass. In retrospect, I would have had to take all this out and wire it, and turn the breaker off, and move hoses and yikes. Yep, lessons learned. Try that first, see if that's possible to get that little gray thing out of there on the left, and then dig around in there. You're good to go. Otherwise, you gotta go through what I did. Feel bad for you, but thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. Give me a thumbs up. If you gotta buy the part, please buy it through my affiliate link and YouTube. I'll put that in there and I'll give you the part number. Thanks for watching. Alright, now it's really done. I got the kick plate on. 2 screws. That's it. Thanks for watching. All done.